We're looking now at so-called dark money in New Mexico politics, and it's coming from the people supposed to keep the lights on, PNM. New Mexico's Nascent Ethics Commission sued the council for a competitive New Mexico and came away with a settlement that revealed the utility giant's parent company had bankrolled a dark money group that spent $130,000 trying to keep a handful of conservative Democratic state senators in their seats. That money paid for mailers and robocalls, and in all, as the group's sole funder, PNM gave nearly $500,000. There's a lot to unpack here in terms of ethics, the Ethics Commission, New Mexico's laws and regulation at PNM. But Dee Dee, let's start with the way the Ethics Commission dug into this. What's of interest to you? Because these guys threw down the suit. It's not as if the press brought this to them on a silver platter.
That's right. I am very happy about how aggressive the Ethics Commission is being here in this and in other instances. We're lucky to have them challenge what went unchallenged before, and that is the contribution of this dark money into PACs and the basically undiscoverability of it. And in spite of a new 2019 law that requires more disclosure from PACs. Now the Ethics Commission is asking for the donors to these PACs. Sometimes they hit a brick wall, and then sometimes they settle and they get some information, but not all the information they need. But thank goodness that they're out there fighting for transparency.
Senator Snyder, PNM's been down this road before. In 2018, they funneled $440,000 trying to get their preferred candidates into seats at the Public Regulation Commission, which of course oversees and approves any rate hikes that PNM requests. Are they getting their hands a little too dirty here? What's going on from your view?
I've always had this same concern, not only about the PNMs or the Chevrons or the whoever, but throw in, I also have concerns when we say, oh, they're a nonprofit group like the Conservation Voters Alliance, and they're just educating.
Right.
Well, if you look at the flyers and the things that were sent out in this last race by PNM, they could be conceived as educational. My belief is, and I'll probably get strangled by somebody for it, is we ought to know everything about everybody. And I mean, I got, messed around in the last election I ran for by a group who put out this most horrendous lie about me and mailed it. But they supposedly they didn't breach the amount of level. It was below the level of where we required them to file as to who they were. No, if you give money, you put it out front,
right?
And then we wouldn't have all this playing around.
Yep.
It just makes me sick.
I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. Hey, Dan, we had Brian Metzger on a couple of weeks ago. Suspicion that PNM bankrolled another dark money group supporting reform of the very agency that oversees the company. And PNM is refusing to say if they did or they didn't, but I have to ask again, mucking around with the regulatory agency, and I'm being a little flip here when I say mucking around, but I mean, these are the people that are regulating them. Should they have any hand in this at all?
Well, I mean, Gene, whether we morally like it, ethically like it, or legally like it, those are three different questions, right?
Okay.
I mean, if they're legally allowed to do it, then, we can voice our opinion, tell them we don't want them to do it. I think the bigger question that we're all missing the boat here, in my opinion, is I think what's happening right now is what people like myself and others said when this commission was created, and it's just selective prosecution. It seems like no matter who they look at, no matter what they go after, they're going after conservatives, people that offend the progressives. I mean, even Jeremy Ferris, the commission executive director, says that the lawsuit was intended to disclose the group's donors. That's not their mission. Their mission isn't to sue someone to disclose their donors. So, it's clear, and according to U.S. News, that, even the executive director is outstepping what the charge of this organization was. Do I think PNM should be messing around in it? No. Do I think it smells right? No. Do I think that, we should be setting up, that PNM should be involved? Well, but you know what? Insurance people are involved in when it comes to it. So at the end of the day, I think the bigger question is, why do we have this selective prosecution, and why are they trying to do things that are outside the charge of what they're tasked with?
Just a little short on time, Dan. I appreciate that. But what they were looking to do actually was enforcing the financing reporting laws as they stand now, not necessarily
No,
trying
that's
to
not
build
what he
something.
said. That's not what he says to U.S. News. It's quoted right here. Commission Executive Director Jeremy Ferris said the lawsuit was intended to disclose the group's donors. You guys can fill in for him all you want, Gene. That's his quote.
That is enforcing the law.
As required by law.
That's right.
As
Getting the
required
group's
by
donors
law.
is not what they're supposed to be tagged with doing. They're not supposed to be tagged with going out and finding who the donors are in organizations.
Actually, they do have to report that up. Let Senator Feldman pick that up on that point. We're just about out of time. Go ahead, Dee Dee. Sorry about that.
It's clearly required by state law, and the Ethics Commission is under its charter to cooperate with the Secretary of State to make this information available. But just back to Dan's point, there is a moral point here as well, and that is PNM, which is now going to be merging with another out-of-state utility. It's supposed to be our leading corporate citizen. And as a corporate citizen, they have, as Joseph Maestas today or yesterday before the PRC indicated, they have a moral responsibility to disclose. They've been asked numerous times, they've refused, and their refusal rings a lot louder than a disclosure. I'm with Diane. If somebody is paying into these campaigns, is producing a message, and in this case, it was a misleading message. And it didn't even mention that the PRC would no longer be elected, but it would be appointed, and it would no longer be regulating transportation and other utilities. So they have a responsibility to disclose.
Mm-hmm. We're out of time, guys. Thank you very much for a very lively set tonight. It's a really good show. We're out of time. I'm back in a moment with some final thoughts.